All right, so something that's been on my mind because I just got one subscriber to this content, which was kind of a surprise for me. I guess getting one is the start of it, right? That's how that's supposed to go. Well, if you're watching, I appreciate you, and I should have learned your name. I'll do that after I publish this, or maybe on my next take if I end up doing one. But the thing that I wanted to talk about that I think is a kind of an element when it comes to bringing your car to the dealership, really any mechanic, that's really important. And I want to bring this up because we've just gotten past a nationwide multi-day, multi-week outage of our computer services. So we haven't been able to actually keep track of a customer's history when they bring their vehicle in, which is incredibly important. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is for every vehicle that comes in, you're given a repair order number. That's how we basically communicate from intake to departure all the things that are going on with your video, or with your vehicle, excuse me. I do that a lot in my job. In any case, something that happens is with every car, we recommend routine maintenance for your vehicle. Now, where I work, that's a 30,000 mile service, a 60,000 mile service, all-wheel drive service. Basically, they're services that get bundled together. And a lot of the time when you're taking your car to a bunch of different places, they might look at your mileage and say, hey, you have 60,000 miles on your car. It's time for you to get new spark plugs. And you do that, but that's the only thing that you do. Then when you go into a dealership, they take a look, hey, you've got 60,000 miles on your car. Here's our routine service, 60,000 miles. Now that's going to include air filters, brake flush, oil change, tire rotation, spark plugs, maybe a couple of other things depending on where you're at. Now that's why it's incredibly important to really understand what you are getting done and the frequency with which you need to get it done, so that way you're not doing things unnecessarily. Because a lot of times, you know, your spark plugs, your technician isn't actually taking a look to see if oil's getting into there. Not all the time. I would say certainly not the majority of the time. A lot of it is just based on the baseline mileage of your vehicle, because these guys, they do take shortcuts, because not every car does need to be looked at with like precision eyes. They can make generalizations. But that means sometimes you might get recommended a service that you really honestly don't need. And so that's a good reason, a good justification for learning more about cars. But even if you don't do that, because I can't really blame you, like I have to drive one, but I don't find these things all that interesting. In fact, I kind of hate them, but that's just me. Ultimately, I think what I'm really trying to sell here is this idea that you are sometimes at the mercy of the generalization of this idea that, oh, you need to get all these services done, when you really don't. And so it's worthwhile to understand exactly what that particular service does, how to tell when you need it, how to tell when you're past due on it. And that's something I'll go over in more detail, but that's something, frankly, that I'm gonna have to learn a little bit more about myself and relay that information to you. So I'll get on that. In the meantime, though, big takeaway here, if I had to summarize really quick, right off the top of my head, just know that all the services that are sometimes bundled aren't always everything that you need, and you can break things up. So bear that in mind the next time you visit a dealership like the one I work at.